Everyone always talks about the Madden curse. The idea that once a superstar makes it to the cover of the Madden franchise, their next year is doomed to be horrible, have a season-ending injury, lose the Super Bowl, something horrible happens to you. I wanted to look into it, so I went back for the past decade to see how players performed after they were given the cover of Madden. Let's hop in. So first one up is Madden 12 with Peyton Hillis. Peyton Hillis getting on the cover in the first place was kind of like a one-hit wonder. I don't want to give Peyton Hillis too much flack. He had this miraculous season with Cleveland, and everybody wanted him on the cover. He rushed for 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. That's what got him onto the cover. However, that would be the only season that he ever eclipsed 1,000 yards. The season after making the cover, he rushed for only 580 yards over 10 games. He only had 3 touchdowns. The Madden curse definitely struck Peyton Hillis. In fact, he would never top 400 yards on a season after that. However, with Madden 13 with Megatron on the cover, the curse was reverted. Megatron had a monster year. He broke the receiving record, which Cooper Kupp almost broke, but had an extra game. So Cooper Kupp didn't even break it with the extra game. Regardless, he had 1,964 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, and 122 receptions. It's honestly impressive that he only had 5 touchdowns. Give it up to the Detroit Lions to find a way to get a guy almost 2,000 receiving yards and average less than half a touchdown a game. Madden 14, the cover athlete was Adrian Peterson, and the year following the cover, he continued to be a monster. Now, granted, he was not as monstrous as he was to get on the cover. He had a 2,000+ yard season, which earned him the Madden 14 cover. And in that following season, he rushed for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. Now, this might have been a decline from his spectacular season, but 1,200 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns is an absurdly good running back season regardless. Now, Richard Sherman in Madden 15. This one is highly debatable. Please tell me in the comments what you guys think, because I really can't determine whether the curse struck or not, okay? So they put Richard Sherman on the cover. He has an awesome season. 4 interceptions, first team All-Pro. He got Defensive Player of the Year votes. He didn't win it, but he got votes. And the Seahawks went 12-4. They went all the way to the Super Bowl. But you definitely remember the Super Bowl. Pete Carroll elects to pass on the 1-yard line with Marshawn Lynch. They throw an interception to Malcolm Butler. Tom Brady gets another ring, and the New England Patriots win the Super Bowl. I would say the curse didn't strike because personally for Richard Sherman, he had an excellent year, but that is one of the most cataclysmic, horrible, historic Super Bowl losses that will be talked about for all time. So technically, I guess you could say the curse did strike. It doesn't have much to do with Richard Sherman so much as it does the Seahawks and Marshawn Lynch and Pete Carroll. I don't know. Madden 16 was Odell Beckham Jr. After getting on the cover, he had an absurdly good season. 1,500 receiving yards, 100 receptions, and 13 touchdowns. No curse here. Madden 17, Rob Gronkowski was on the cover, and the curse definitely struck. Gronk was completely plagued with injuries this season. He only started 6 games and had an overall very unspectacular year. The Madden curse finally strikes. It was on a cold streak though. Megatron, AP, debatably Sherman, Odell, Gronk. In Madden 18, Tom Brady beats the curse. He became the first player ever to win MVP the year he was on the Madden cover. He made it all the way to the Super Bowl, but they did lose this one to Nick Foles and the Eagles. So there's a trend here. Richard Sherman was on it, made the Super Bowl, lost. Tom Brady's on it, makes the Super Bowl, lost. It kind of brings up the whole Michael Jordan, LeBron James argument. Would you rather make the Super Bowl and lose or just not make it at all? Everybody likes to tell me Michael Jordan's 6-0. He only made it 6 times. Would you rather be Tom Brady making the Super Bowl and losing or just not go at all? I don't know, but I wouldn't say the curse struck here either. He had an amazing season. He made it to the Super Bowl. He just didn't win. Madden 19 is Antonio Brown. Listen, the season following, he had an amazing year. Like, he had an amazing year when he was on the cover. I think the curse was just delayed a little bit. Obviously, Antonio Brown is struggling with something. Maybe not. Maybe he really just likes all the attention. Maybe he's a huge narcissist, or maybe he has some mental health issues. But I'm going to say the curse definitely struck for Antonio Brown. Madden 20 was Patrick Mahomes, and the curse definitely did not strike, as Mahomes became the first player to win the Super Bowl the year they were on the cover, which is actually crazy with how many people went to the Super Bowl but just didn't win it. We're only going a decade back. But Brady had a chance and Sherman had a chance. He had 4,000 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. And of course, he got the ring. There's no curse. Madden 21 was Lamar Jackson. He didn't recreate his MVP season, but he had a great season. He went over 1,000 rushing yards. The Ravens went 11-5. They won a playoff game. Overall, it was a very good season for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. I can't call the curse here. Madden 22 was the double cover with Brady and Mahomes, and both of them had an amazing season. Now, obviously, neither of them made the Super Bowl, as this was Bengals-Rams, but they both went to the playoffs. They both won a playoff game. Brady threw for 5,300 yards. Mahomes for 4,800. They both had great seasons, so no curse. Madden 23, obviously, there's no cover athletes, but over the past decade, the curse really didn't strike at all. It got Antonio Brown pretty damn good. You could debate that it got Richard Sherman because of how heartbreaking that Super Bowl loss was, but I wouldn't say that. He had a good season. It definitely got Peyton Hillis, and that's it. That's literally it. There's no curse. I am almost to the point where I could say the Madden curse is a myth. It's not real anymore. It did get Gronk too. I forgot about Gronk, but it's not shooting a very good percentage. Let's put it that way. It indisputably got Gronk, Peyton Hillis, and Antonio Brown. The other 8 were fine. 9, technically, if you count the double cover. It remains to be seen who is on the Madden 24 cover. If I had to guess it right now, I'm going to say it's Justin Jefferson. I just think EA needs a hype cover. The last few cover athletes for EA, Lamar was a very good one. Brady Mahomes cover was stupid as shit. I hated that. And then obviously they just had the John Madden one, which I very much respected, but I think they're gonna go with like a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase, a Sauce Gardner, somebody like that. Justin Jefferson did get Offensive Player of the Year too, so it's possible. There's no way they do another Mahomes cover. I get he won the Super Bowl. There's no way they do another Mahomes cover. All right, that's the history of the Madden curse. It's a myth perpetuated by the government. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.